Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Alex from Apocalypse.Intelligence. And guess what, everybody? I just found my Erglava ring. Now, what is an Erglava ring? This is an Erglavic tradition, and Rob Schweier can back this up, where the Pennsylvania Dutch community, the Amish community, the Mennonite community has a restaurant in the middle of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I think it's Lancaster, called Shady Maple Smorgasburg. Okay? Now, one of the secrets about this restaurant is it is the way for the Pennsylvania Dutch community to care for the German diaspora on their birthdays. And if you go on your birthday, and you don't have to be German to do this, they do this for everybody. You show your ID, they say, hey, it's your birthday. They give you a free meal, and it's the biggest buffet in Pennsylvania, one of the biggest in the United States, actually, outside of Las Vegas. And they give you a $20 gift certificate to go down and get anything you want from the gift shop. The meaning behind that is, even if you're shunned and you're estranged from the community, they're not monsters, and they still want you to have a connection to the Pennsylvania Dutch culture. Pennsylvania Dutch, Pennsylvania Deutsch, Deutscherei, whatever you want to call it. So, even if your family that you came from was not necessarily a good family, and you have no inner connection to the Amish Mennonite community of the area, you can still connect to your roots, and they still at least validate you, even though it's through administrative means. At least once a year, when you go through that register, show your ID, and say, hi, it's my birthday. I'd like my coupon book and my free meal, please. Now, everybody else around you is going to have to pay god-awful however much it is, but hey, at least you get free food. Now, with that being said, one of the things that I keep in the back of my mind when I'm doing all these missives, when I'm working so hard here, is to make sure to give the people that have helped me the most throughout my life the opportunities that they have been denied. And one of the top people who's been denied opportunities, who has not been given enough respect, is Robert L. Schweier, or Robert L. Lush, or whatever name he's going by. He's another one of those guys who has a lot of names. I've seen this man get demeaned, shoved into back rooms, basically, categorically speaking, and not treated with respect, with deference, or with the credit he deserves, not given the protection he deserves, and not given the protection for his students that he needs. This man has several students. Having a university that he can teach out of, having a home base where he can be a senior faculty member, a department head, that would be a role that is more suitable to Mr. Schweier. One with a little bit more prestige, one that matches his talents and abilities, and one that won't allow him to get demeaned, undermined, or basically steamrolled over anymore. I'm tired of seeing that happen. Yes, he's a nice guy, but he's also one of the most intelligent people that I've ever met. So, with that being said, no, I'm not vindictive. Yes, I do have dreams of taking over the school that harmed me so much, because it is a beautiful campus. And there were many wonderful faculty there that are probably still there, and many students who are also similarly disenfranchised as I was, who are as intelligent as I am, if not more so. I mean, I can name several off the top of my head, Ruby Johnson, Magdalena Regal, Sienna May Heath. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I would love more than anything to bring Christian Contends over, and, he doesn't have to be stuck teaching English. He can actually teach, art. Maybe he doesn't even want to teach. Maybe he just wants to do, field excursions with a bunch of students as they go off and play with drones in the middle of the field. Period in college. Yeah. Who doesn't want to bring all their friends together? Who doesn't want to have an environment and a community, an academic community full of professors that are actually talented, that are actually caring, that actually want to see and want to support their students, not shoot them in the foot, not see them as competition, not see them as a threat, but literally want to nourish that academic spirit, nourish them spiritually, academically, and help them grow and give them a place that they're not ashamed and not afraid to come back to give them lifelong friendships. Instead of having monitoring by professors, actually go by the old model where, the students actually want to go and check in with their old professors, where they want to keep up those contacts. There should never be any official post-graduate surveillance. That's unlawful. That's unfair, and it's cruel. And also, there's no authorization when you're not the actual medical provider of a student to diagnose them, to pathologize them, or treat them like they're less than just because you're jealous of them. So I think that we could do a better model. I think that we can, as you can see from my page and all my efforts, I've been working very hard, with several people behind the scenes to try and come up with a better model. And inshallah, may it be something that could actually happen someday, hopefully someday sooner than later, so that we can all get the reparations that we need and move forward our life in the most productive and healing way possible, without the interference of bad actors, without the interference of selfish people, of the jealous, of those who disenfranchise students for money, who steal other people's work, who, separate loved ones, who stomp on love, who do all those horrible things just because they're petty, they're insecure, and they can't understand other people through eyes other than their own. When you don't have very secure theory of mind, it affects everybody around you. We need to have faculty that teaches students that are safe for the students, that are not going to create years of disenfranchisement. So with that being said, Assalamu alaikum, Khoda Hafez, and may Allah lead us to straight pathway always. My prayer for you is that you all who are involved in this have the courage to speak out. You're not going to get hurt anymore, I promise. Inshallah. Amin.